Hey, welcome to After the Buzzer Sports Podcast on ISF Productions. I'm your host, Lee Jones. I got my guy, the Hall of Famer, or should I say, Money Marv, with me today. What's up, Marv?
What's going on? What's going on? It's a special day. Got one of my brothers in here, one of my fams coming on to chop it up a little bit. So it's a good day, but all is well, man.
Absolutely. We got a great rundown, man. We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs with James Hollywood Robinson, our special guest. We're going to talk about should college athletes be employees of the college and not even have to go to classes. We're going to talk about NIL collaboratives. What is that? And should they be involved in sports, or are they making a positive or a negative impact? We're going to talk about Caitlin Clark's contract. Caitlin, her WNBA contract. We want to chop it up with you guys and tell us what you think about her WNBA contract and go down that road. Should the Warriors break up? So it's time to move on. It's the dynasty over. We want to chop that up a little bit. And then if we have time, we're going to talk about these new NCAA rules in college football. But without further ado, I wanted to introduce our special guest. He's the former Mr. Basketball for the state of Mississippi. He was named the McDonald All-American in his senior year. He was all Southeast Conference first team at the University of Alabama, drafted number 21 in the first round by the Portland Trailblazers, played 8 years in the National Basketball Association for 4 teams, participated in the slam dunk contest. We definitely want to get into that. And just a great guy. Also head coach of the Vegas Ballers in the TBL, Mr. James Hollywood Robinson. Welcome to the show.
Man, thank you. I appreciate it. Great introduction, dog. Great introduction, Lee.
Yeah, you like that. You like that. He did that nice. Okay.
We want to take you back down memory lane, so that's all good. That's all good, man. Man, welcome to the show. We really appreciate it. I know you and Mar, y'all got a relationship, but I really appreciate you coming on, man. Really want to pick your brain for your NBA knowledge, man, and college knowledge, and just want to talk about a gamut of things today with you. So we really appreciate it. So I want to jump right in, man. NBA playoffs started. The 1 weekend, we got the first games wrapped up. And first, Marv, I want to get your opinion about the playoffs so far, the play-in and the playoffs. Tell us what you think about it, Marv. So far, so good, or status quo. It's been a lot of blowouts. So I want to get your thoughts on the NBA playoffs so far.
First, I gotta tell a story about the gentleman that's sitting in the middle screen, right? So I get to University of Alabama. You know everybody that come in. We all the best wherever we've been, right? So I'm coming in not really knowing what to expect, but would have know this. We used to call it the lower gym, right? And that's where the real hooping took place. So the first day I come down, I don't know if this was purposeful. I don't know what, maybe Coach P back in the day maybe made this personal or so I walk it down in the lower gym. I see Hollywood, I see Big Shot, I see Rob Ory. I see a lot of cats don't remember David Benoit. I saw David Benoit was down there. Latrell Spree was down there. And a lot of people don't give Gary Waits the respect that he should give, but Gary Waits was a great legend in the SEC and somebody that I came behind. But I walk down into the gym and this is what I see, NBA, future NBA All-Stars champions. And this is what I see, right? So I get out onto the court the first time, and Wood, everybody knows how super athletic Wood was, right? So he caught it on the wing, and if he got his shoulder under you, it was over. There was nothing you could really do, right? And he was always lower than everybody, but he took one dribble from the wing and took off from outside the block, and just mushed on like 2 people and walked back down the court like it was nothing. And then Gary Waits was up in me, literally. This is when you could put hands on people back in the day. And Gary Waits was literally making me feel like a little girl out on the basketball court. It was purposeful though. They went at me because they didn't really know. They was like, we don't know who this kid is, but it was great. I was fortunate enough to share a season with him before he went on to bigger and better things. But having to guard somebody like that, people don't understand the levels to from high school to college and then professionally. And going up against a guy every day in practice that was a first round choice, you see what the levels are, right?
Absolutely.
And I try to tell kids this all the time. You can be great in college, but it's a whole nother level of them cats that play in the NBA. So I appreciate you taking a moment, Wood. I just wanted to say that because the boy crazy.
Hey, that was a great
Hollywood
story. You ain't tell no story how I did you, nah. Come on, dog. You got one of them saved up.
I was just getting ready to ask you that question, that very question. He left out what was done to him, but okay.
Yeah, he got me cussed out the first practice, and Hobbs. Remember you used to do the full course. You had to turn them within the elbow. We had to do the turns right within the square and full court turns. Yeah, and they matched me up against this fool. Freshman against future NBA first rounder, and Hobbs and them. Hobbs was like, I don't even know who you are. Why we get this a scholarship? Like, he was making me look that bad, right? I went home. I called my mom on the phone. I was like, I can't do this. This is different right here. But no, it was great though. You learn to adjust pretty quickly.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
oh yeah. You had to. Them was the days, man. You can put your hand on people. You can guard people hard. I mean, cats don't go hard like that now. In practice and stuff.
Yeah.
No,
well,
it's a different game.
Right there. We'll get to the playoffs, but since you brought it up, Hollywood, talk to us about the difference in when you played in the NBA and current day NBA. We see all of these players getting 60 and 70. This year, I mean, people just getting 70 points, 50 points. 40-point games was a norm. Talk to the audience about when you played and you talked about the hand checking and putting your hands up. Let's stay right there for a minute. Talk to us about the difference in today's game and when you played.
Okay, when the difference is when we play, you can hand check. What I mean by hand check, I can take my hand and put it on your waist, and I can kind of guide you to where I wanted you to go. Or I can kind of tell when you got ready to take off. So that kind of helped me defensively kind of stay in front of you. So that way you won't shake me. But today, you can't even put your hands on guys. You can't touch guys. It's which in an era, if I would have played now, I already had 60 points.
Oh yeah.
5 times or more. I know I would have probably had closer, like Kobe, 80, because you can't hand check. Which to me, it makes the game better. I ain't gonna say, the guys don't play defense, but I say they play where they want, more offense. Because when we play, it wasn't no such thing as a free layup.
Yeah.
You got up off the ground, and that was just part of it. You just knew how to land. That was the key. These guys now don't know how to land. It was just part of the game. But I like the way the game is going. I like because the skill set for the big men are 50 times to 70 times better than the big men that we had. We didn't have big men to bring the ball down the court and start a fast break. That makes the game exciting. It opens it up for everybody. The only thing I don't like is the guys run for 3 points all the time. Yeah. They don't run hard for the dunk on people. They don't run for the 2 points, And then when you get on the guys from being a coach, when you get on them, Lee, they, it's like I ain't really, they start soaking. It's like I'm not, getting on you. I'm just trying to, motivate you in the way that I know how to motivate you. Everybody, you can't, just sweet talk everybody. Sometimes I have to get in your butt so you can hear me. I'll make sure you're paying attention. But that's the difference. They soak so much. They get into their feelings.
For those of you that don't know, Hollywood is head coach for the Vegas Ballers in the TBL. So he knows exactly what he's talking about today's athlete. Mark, so let's go there. NBA playoffs so far. Talk to us about what your thoughts are, and then I want to get Hollywood's opinion on the playoffs so far. We've seen a lot of blowouts in these games. So tell me what your thoughts are. Boston looked good. Hey, New York, big win over Philadelphia. The Mavericks lose to the Clippers. And then that Laker and Denver game is status quo. So I want to get both of you guys' opinions on that. What do you think about it, Marv, so far in the play?
I'm going to make it quick. So I'm going to let the former NBA player talk here. But, I think the Lakers pretty much status quo. Your best player is 39 years old. And as great as LeBron is, it's just not sustainable. It's especially not built to beat a team like Denver. The blueprint has been there. Denver's done what they've done to the Lakers. I don't see it being any different. I think they may get a game. But status quo all the way around. I think that Cleveland is a little bit better than than a lot of people have seen. I think they were pretty impressive. They came out and handled their business. I think Boston did what they needed to do, come out and be dominant. I don't know, I don't know what Miami got out on the floor. I don't know how long Jimmy Butler going to be hurt, but boy, that starting lineup. I mean, I let me go drop about 30. I might be able to go get a basket. But I'm interested to see Milwaukee with Doc and kind of how they handle this playoff run with Giannis being out for maybe the first series. I'm not sure, but it's going to be interesting to see how they come out. I think Chris Middleton will be big in kind of what they do. And Oklahoma City, are they going to be first time? They're young, first time a number one seed. It's been a while. They got the expectation now. I'm interested to see how they kind of bounce back with that today. So status quo for me. The teams that I thought were going to be dominant were. So yeah, that's where I stand on it.
Playoffs is a game of adjustments, though. It's a game of adjustments from one game to one game. Hollywood, what have you seen in the playoffs so far with the way they went? And I really want to get your opinion on the Clippers and the Mavericks today, because that was a surprise to me. The Mavericks didn't play as well as I thought they would in the first game. So give me your opinion on the playoffs and what you've seen so far in the playoffs today.
Well, I think all the games went as scheduled as far as winning, because everybody won their home game, and like you said, it's about adjustments. And what the key is, the second game, if they can steal a road game, and that's the key. When you can steal a road game, then that turns the series around. The only thing, like I said, all the teams, won that were supposed to win, but the Philly and New York game. Now, I think Philly got a great chance, man, to win the second game. Out of everybody, I think Philly do. And the Lakers too. If the Lakers could adjust, right there in the fourth quarter, where they can get some guys off the bench that could, stick with Denver as far as getting up and down, kind of slow Denver down. I think they got a chance right there too. And then you said Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma is going to be, I think they're going to be there, Marv, because
think so.
They never played before. When you never played before, you got that adrenaline. It's the first time. I think they hungry. They want it. I don't think they're gonna be like a Sacramento was a couple years ago. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they gelling at the right time, man. And that's been like the last couple of months.
Hollywood, let me ask you this, and then I want to come back to Marv on this. The Lakers, they just don't have a third scorer. You think you wanted to be Austin Reeves. You thought it was going to be D'Angelo. He didn't do it. Hachimura really didn't give them what they've been getting from Hachimura. That's the problem I see with the Lakers. AD played a tremendous game. LeBron played a tremendous game. No consistent third scorer for the Lakers. Can they find somebody? And then decision-making. They turned the ball over quite a bit as well. And so those are the two things that in 9 straight games, the blueprint has been the same. What do you think about that? And who do you think can step up to help the Lakers in that Denver series, because you think they could steal this second game?
I think D'Angelo Russell. He's the key to the whole series. He has to step up, man. He has to step up. I mean, he started the last month, I say 6 weeks. He hadn't been really playing well. But I think if he can step up and play and be that third wheel, and we just get consistency, guys off the bench, just to be consistency off the bench. They ain't got to score, 30 points or 25, not even 20 points. We just get the guys to be consistent. And then I think, like I say, I think they'll have a shot. D'Angelo Russell is the key.
Absolutely. Marv, Minnesota and Phoenix. I want to go there with you first, Marv. Minnesota and Phoenix. I was a big Phoenix fan coming in to the season. And of course, they didn't. Injuries have just derailed the big three really basically the whole year. They haven't really played together. But what I saw was a lack of defensive intensity for the Suns. And they're really not a good rebounding team to have KD at 7 feet, Bol, and some of the other sides they have. They're kind of a soft team. Tell me what you thought about Phoenix and Minnesota, Marv, from your perspective on the first game.
I mean, Phoenix is who I thought they were going to be all year. Some hired guns. That's what you got. But Bradley Beal, he's never won since he's been in the league. Winning matters, and knowing how to win does matter. Devin Booker, as much as he scores, he hasn't really done much in terms of advancing in the playoffs. KD's the only proven winner. So none of them are known for defense. I think out of the three, KD probably would be your best defender, but They look disinterested, and that's pretty much what I thought because they all play relatively the same off the ball, and I just don't think that there's enough basketballs to keep them happy and keep them engaged. And you got to be engaged on the defensive end. Hollywood could tell us, better than anybody, defense is what separates you, especially when it gets to the playoffs and games that matter. Minnesota, I like that. Ant Edwards is a dog, man. Look, he trying to come at everybody, and he not scared. He don't care who he tell. So I like their swagger. I think they'll get out of the first round. Carl Anthony's going to be the key. How healthy is he really? Is he able to going to be that separated, that spacer, and then defensively do the things that he did? So I think Minnesota will be interesting, but I think they'll get out of the first round as well. So it's interesting to see. So I want to ask Hollywood before we kind of go to the next question. Everybody talks about the during an NBA season, it don't matter until after the All-Star break. Like player, people always kind of talk about this. Players, they kind of do their thing. It is what it is. Then after about the All-Star break, that's when you start to see the real NBA. I mean, is there truth to that? What kind of goes on in that process? Because 82 games is a long season. I know. So give us some insight of that if somebody's actually been there, done it. And I know what's going on.
When I play, it was a lot different. When I say that means you really have guys taking time, games off, because you lose your spot. You know what I mean? Because you had guys that came in. It wasn't because you had the big contract. You literally use your spot. You know what I mean? So and then the guys now, I wouldn't say it don't matter because as far as being a coach and being a player too, you have to gel. And it takes a lot of games to find that right, 5. And then to have the 6 and 7 guy coming off the bench. So all those games really make a difference. I ain't going to say they don't, the games don't matter. The guys play. They get to know each other. I ain't going to say they play as hard. They don't run up and down the court as hard because guys want to get I can tell you like this, Mark. You can look at some of the games, and you can tell, oh, that guy playing hard. That guy playing hard. You know why? His contract coming up. So you can see some guys, and you can tell now. I mean, some guys, from the first game, Mark, it's contract time, baby. I got to get it. So he don't want to coach. I got to coach. Come on, I got the minutes. So you got to. It depends on That's why I say from playing is different because you look at it from different perspective. Because it was like even if it was the guys wouldn't take advantage of the time. Somebody like me, I would take advantage of the time. Especially the guys 9, 10, and 11 down the bench. Those guys get in the game. It matters to them, Mark. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's watching them. Another team is always watching somebody, player. So I wouldn't say it like that. Somebody's always watching you. That was the number one rule in the NBA. No matter you get in there for 30 seconds, somebody's always watching you, brother. Yeah. So play.
Hollywood, you are a high riser. You attack the rim, right? With aggressive abandonment, as they say. Edwards in Minnesota. Is he poised to be the next great star? He and Ja Morant, that's what I say, the next great star in the NBA, do you think?
I really, really think so because he's only 22 years old.
Yeah, he's
a young player that understands the game, that know how to play the game, and from what I hear, he's a great teammate.
Yeah.
So when you got all those aspects together and the city love you, man, like Marv, I'm with him on Minnesota getting out of the first round.
Yeah.
But I got to say this about Phoenix, though, brother. Don't sleep on Phoenix, man. That first game, like I say, you can look at it starting at the third quarter. Them guys really then, okay, we got a feel for what, Minnesota want to do. Game 2. Now let's see what we're going to do game 2. I bet you it'll be tighter. Absolutely. Game 2 gonna make all the difference. Like I say, it's all about adjustments, finding out, how we gonna, make Dirkovich go this way. What percentage is it? We need to send him for us to win to go this way. Right? I mean, it's all broke down, brother. I mean, they really, them statistics, they really get into it, man.
I was going to ask. I was going to ask somebody like you that was a high volume scorer. The game has changed to analytics, and with your coaching and what you do now, do you implement any of that into the way that you coach? Do you use it? Because I know we old school. We come from a different era. So do you feel like there's a part of it in the game, analytics, and is it something that you utilize?
Not during the game when I was coaching, but after, I have somebody to calculate all the shots, where this player made the shots and stuff like that. But the thing is, I've kind of like followed the NBA. When a guy's hot, man, get that guy the ball, man.
Yeah.
I've been that guy. Get him the ball. He can, that hole becomes so big, man. Get him the ball. So sometimes I do more, but during the games I really don't. I really don't, because I already got a game plan, and I try to stick with that game plan.
So on your 93 when you came into Portland, and I'll let you go, Lee. I didn't mean to cut you off. Was that Clyde's last year, or had he already gone to Houston?
2 years. I played with him 2 years.
Okay.
And then he got flipped the next year. But man, I learned a lot from Clyde. But who really took me under their wings was Terry Porter, man. Terry Porter, he made me, buckle down, and especially during the playoffs my first year, like, this is what the players is all about. Get the video, get in your room, tell everybody you holler at them. We ain't had a cell phone then. That thing on block. It's like, lock it down. This is where you get your name at. This is where people recognize you. And so it was like, and high-flying Clyde, man, he was just a different beast, man. People don't talk about Clyde like they should, man.
That's my question to you, Hollywood. And y'all, we're on After the Buzzers on ISF Productions. Please subscribe, like, and comment. If you have a question for Hollywood, please put it in the chat. We'll get that on. But people don't give Clyde Drexler his due. And when they talk about all of these players, high risers, Kobe's, the LeBrons, the Michaels, they even throw Tracy McGrady out there, but you never hear Clyde Drexler. So I want to talk to someone who played with Clyde. Tell us about who Clyde was and how he should be considered when they're talking about in these conversations.
He should be considered like, in one of the greats. He's already in the top 50, but he should be considered like one of the great players, man. Just to, like, especially my first year, just watching him, I used to be on the bench like this. It's like, like some of the stuff he used to do was so amazing. Like, how did you do that, Clyde? And then he'll get on a hot streak where, he wasn't really known for his jumpers, but he'll start hitting. And he was really a quiet player when he played, man. He really didn't talk, too much trash. He just, he led by, being out there on the court. That's how he led by. He came in, during the playoffs, he would, motivate players out, a little bit. But other than that, Clyde let all his action deal on the floor.
And much better defensively than people gave him credit for, too, as far as a defensive player as well, I thought, with Clyde Drexler as well. So thank you for coming. I want to know, how did you get the nickname Hollywood? Could you tell us who gave you that name? Tell us how Hollywood came to fruition.
I was playing at a McDonald's All-American game, and I had a suit on, and I had my shades on. The game was over with, and as I come out, and Dick Vitale said, Hollywood! And he said it where it was on TV, and it kind of stuck with me. So Dickie B gave me that name, man. Dick Vitale.
All right.
Ever since then.
That's great.
It was Hollywood, and it was the what was the bubble gum? Because you used to have old girl, whoever behind the bench, and he just had all Bubblicious. There it is, and it was the bubble gum and the bubbles, right? When he start popping them bubbles, you knew what was up there.
You knew what was coming. I was focused.
All right. Question, Hollywood. NIL. I want to get your opinion on NIL and the transfer portal in college sports in general. Marv and I, we go back and forth on it. We battle about NIL and its impact. But I want to get your opinion, and probably from a basketball perspective more. What are your thoughts about NIL and the transfer portal? And do you think where we're at now, that's here to stay, and what the impact is on the sport in general?
To be honest, I think they should have an NIL deal. As far as how they do it, as far as the transfer portal and putting the guys in, I don't think you should be able to transfer every time to get that money. I really don't. You should be able to, if you transfer, it's just for instance, you get $100,000, you play for the year, you transfer through a mid-season, you only should get $25,000 or something like that. But I don't think it's hurting the game. Mm-hmm. I think there should be paid, because without the players, we don't have no game. The coaches ain't making no money, they ain't making no decisions, they don't look good. I don't think it hurt the game at all. I think it's here to stay. I think they're gonna have to implement more rules to it.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's going nowhere. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Go ahead, Marv. You were gonna say something about it?
No, yeah, they got to figure out how to implement some type of transparency in this. And I think the ruling in Virginia, where they said that universities can now pay players, I think you're going to see people go down this route because it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So from a couple sources, I got that coach. Hollywood and Lee, the going rate right now for McDonald's All-American is about, even just to sit down with them and have a conversation, is about $1.2 million a season. You could have made about $4 million in college, Hollywood, if that was the rate. And they say, top 40. Well, yeah. Well, look, when y'all asked me the question last week about, the money you got at Alabama, that's the person you need to be asking about money at Alabama. That's the person you want to ask about that. Okay. I met some people in Birmingham through that gentleman right there on the screen. So yeah, he the one you should ask that question to, Lee.
Yeah.
Hey, I have no idea. Back to NIL, they should get paid.
Right. Hey, we're gonna leave that alone. But Hollywood, let me ask you this on the transfer portal. So you think, to me, it's not going to get better, none of it, until the players can unionize and negotiate that stuff. Then you can negotiate what the levels of payment are to the players. But until they unionize as a collective athletic body, college players, I don't think it'll ever get better, because you just got the Wild Wild West. The Marv's comment here, $1.5 million here. You got bench riders probably getting 100,000 and wanting 200,000. What are your thoughts about players becoming unionized as an athletic body, and then maybe being able to now negotiate these terms?
Like I said, I think it's more. To me, it's not more unionized. I think it's more about the rules. More about, just say, it's kind of like the NBA or the NFL, when they have a certain amount, to spend each year. Each team should be able to. That should be their budget. They should be able to go, over that budget, because you got these big universities and you got these small universities. It ain't fair. You get what I'm saying? So it should be some type
salary cap. I'm like a salary cap, an NIL cap.
Yeah. There you go. And when you get that will, break down a lot of different stuff. Because a lot of players now, you transfer, blah, 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 sudden hurt happens. You get what I'm saying? So now it breaks it down. It kind of puts it in a box now. You got something to work with, in other words.
Yeah. Marv, I want to ask you this, and then Marv, I'll let you ask another question if you want to get in there. So women's sports this year. Now, Ms. Keaton wanted this question answered, so I want to ask this question for women's sports. What are your thoughts on just the women's game this year? Caitlin Clark was the big superstar this year. And what do you think that the WNBA can build upon this momentum and sort of raise the level of their game? What are your thoughts on that, Hollywood?
I think they can. I think we seen it before from the NBA, and a lot of the WNBA teams are owned by the NBA, franchises now. So, and I can give you a prime example. Like when Jordan came in the league, it was so, hype after, he broke his ankle, he came back. And another one, this was a prime example they learned from when LeBron James came in the league. It's kind of like Caitlin Clark now. It was so much hype. You get what I'm saying? So they learned on that and they build on that. So I think that WNBA and the team seen that, and they going to build on that, because right now, the sport right now for the WNBA is so big and so great for the women right now. Not just, because because the Final Four, the excitement, Caitlin Clark, all that she brought to the table, and just made people that wasn't even interested in basketball, period. Now they interested in basketball, watching women's basketball. So I think they gonna learn from that, and it's gonna grow because she got the same height that LeBron James had when he came in the NBA.
Great point. Mark, what you got?
Yeah, no, I agree. At some point, is this amateurism? I guess we're just saying that amateurism no longer exists, right? If we're going to go down the route of everybody needs to get paid, which I think they will, that throws amateurism out the door. But what happens to the kids? And I've always kind of said this, Lee, just being somebody who played college athletics. What about the kids who don't play professionally, right? Like what the idea of always being able to transfer. There used to be something to be said of kind of longevity, staying somewhere, building an identity, building a culture. You can only do that with kids that kind of stay around. That's how you build a program's culture. So I think that's going to really hurt because these kids are turning into guns for hire basically, and give me a year, give me $200,000-300,000, and you can rent me for a year. So I see both sides of it. I'm still a little bit old school just because of where we came from, but I still think that coaching is about development, and you learn a lot more than you don't from the things that you go through, and from coaches that teach you. So, I just hope that art isn't lost because a lot of kids' lives change because of it.
Absolutely.
I got a point to add to that. The thing I said they should get paid is because I'm gonna give you an example. I'm just gonna give an example. Say you, Marv, right? You from Seattle, Washington. I mean, you from South Carolina, Seattle, Washington. You can work in Seattle. So you come to Alabama, you get your degree at the time, right? Mm-hmm. You go back to South Carolina, then you get a job offer way in Seattle, Washington, right? Now, who gonna help you move to Seattle, Washington?
Yeah.
Now these kids got these NIL deals now. They got money now to get where they need to. You get what I'm saying? That guy that you saying get $200,000 off the bench. Don't look at it like that. You got to look at it like it's positive for them. They getting a jump start in life. They don't have no college debt, right? Now they got some money to get an apartment, to start get a house.
Let's stay right there then. Let's kind of segue into that and take for an example to kids today. So what did it feel like that you got drafted in that first NBA check? Like what did that feel like, and what did you do? And did you have any people around you to help you make sense of Well, I know you did, but I'm just saying, like now you put kids into the situation where they're getting money, and I get it. Everybody wants a head start, but I also, like you said, I also want there to be some type of regulation and to teach them financial literacy, because a lot of us didn't have a lot of financial literacy. You get any amount of money and you get real stupid with it real quick when you hadn't had it, right? So yeah, what was that like? That first moment where you got that NBA check and you was like, "Mama, I made it," and give us some insight into that.
Mine was a little different, man, because Paul Allen he believed in the team, like he believed in the team, man. Like I got drafted, right? The next day, I was on the plane and I was in Portland, Oregon. Met him, got on the yacht, took me up to his house, Seattle, brought me back, made a good, impression on him, I guess, and whatever. Before I end up leaving 3 days later, I hadn't signed a contract yet. They released $300,000 and gave me a check for $300,000.
Wow.
And I took that and went back to Alabama, and I looked at it and was like, man, I took a pay cut.
See what I'm saying?
Man, Wood, don't get this to Lee. Don't get his ammunition to Lee, man.
Hey, thank you, Hollywood. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what.
I'm lying.
No, you're not. You ain't lying. Let's go and say it. You ain't lying. That's okay. It's okay. I want to get
Oh
I
man.
want to get a few of the comments in real quick. Big Dot 1976 said paid players should pay wait school and not get scholarships. Mav from LA, WNBA coming short on the money. I want to get into that in just a minute. Leroy Grant, all of these boosters should be able to take care of the players while they are producing on the basketball court or football field. That's a good comment. Big Dog again, 99% of the kids don't go pro. Terrence Agee, women are short on the money because of the ratings. That's a major point right there. I want to jump right into that because the WNBA, and let's stay with Caitlin Clark real quick because I definitely want to talk about that. The contract that she received, 4 years, $338,000, right? 76K this year, and then it balloons up in the fourth year, 97K. Now, we're going to take out the Nike money. We know she got a Nike contract, 8 years. They're speculating 8 years, $28 million. But for the average player, that money is not sustainable to live, a lifestyle playing in the WNBA. Hollywood, do you think them playing in the summer hurts their ratings?
No, I don't think it hurts the ratings. I think it's like I say, it's gonna change, it's gonna boost because of Clayton Clark coming in, because all the new fans and all the contracts and stuff like that is kind of revenue share. So it's all about, the contracts that they sign, the TV deals that they do, the fans
Absolutely.
that they put. All that stuff is going to change now, man, because the fan base is so big right now. And I don't think it's going to fall off. I really don't think it's going to fall off. Like I said, she is like the LeBron because people going to follow her. They going to want to see what she going to do against, like I'm not a, I'm a basketball player. I'm not a basketball fan. When LeBron first came in the league, I was a LeBron fan. But I don't really, I like basketball. I like watching good basketball. He was the only player, his first 4 or 5 years. I will go like, man, I'm going to go to the house and watch LeBron play.
Right.
Playing. That's the same thing I'm going to do with her. The first couple of years, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to see what she's going to do against other competition. How she going to, if she can change the game a little bit from, her shot selection, like what he did to the game. You get what I'm saying? So people are going to follow that. And I think the money is going to come with that.
I hope so.
Kind of like Jordan, like when Jordan came in the league, money changed. Jordan,
Absolutely.
people running to the TV to see Jordan, so the TV deals got big, players got big, strikes went on and stuff like that happened. So I think, she's going to really help the game. And not just her, this draft class. Woo!
Some talent coming out of it. There was some talent in this draft.
For the WNBA, I mean, it's some girls out there. They can hoop.
I like all of your points. I just and when we talk about TV ratings, and this is where I am, where I'm still, I love the talent. I love everything about the WNBA and build upon that. But it's so much competition, especially when that football training camp start, baseball. I just want to see the focus. And Marv, you made this point. I think last week you felt that the NBA should pump more money into the WNBA and get it more exposure because, like you said, Hollywood, 3/4 of the teams are owned by the NBA owners. So I definitely want to see that. I have a question. I want to jump into this Jontay Porter situation. Hollywood, I got to get your opinion on this. And Marv as well. I got to get you guys' opinion on this. Jontay, suspended for the league, lifetime ban for gambling. It's allegedly that he gave insider information to some sports bettors, and then also that he didn't, and his participation in games, like when people do those prop bets, and they talked about him shooting threes, and you may have put 3, he'll make 3. He checked himself out of a couple of games. Allegedly now. Let's don't send a guy to prison yet. Allegedly. But Marv, I'm going to start with you, then I want to go to Hollywood. What are your thoughts about Jontay and to me, the stupidity he showed in doing this?
I mean, that's really the only way you could describe it as stupidity. I just, I don't understand what goes through someone's head to even think they can get through it. But listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm surprised this is the first, right? Like do I think that there's betting that goes on in the NBA? You know, I've never been part of the NBA, but I've known some people in it, and I can tell you that I think it's probably a little bit more prevalent than we think. But yeah, he was just complete ignorance. I mean, I don't know what was going through his head when he was doing these things, and then to make it so obvious, he was checking out the game, he was manipulating, you know, how the game that just crazy. But I'm not surprised. And do I think that it goes on more? Absolutely. But that's just my opinion.
Hollywood, you played in the league. You've been around. Now, it wasn't legal to bet back then. I don't know what happens when y'all in the locker room doing y'all thing, but you can. I don't want your pensions involved, so I don't want to mess with that either. But tell us about gambling and your thoughts about gambling in the NBA, because my deal is, DraftKings and all of this, it just sheds a negative light on the sport because it's insinuated that some stuff like this is coming up. What are your thoughts, Hollywood?
Well, I think, I ain't gonna say the guys don't bet. They do bet, but I ain't never been around guys that bet like on, sports or anything like that. Now, when we on the plane, guys walk around with, bags of money. We get on the plane, we play card games. The card games get up to, $200,000-$300,000 and stuff like that.
Wow.
As far as, oh yeah, boo rating. Oh yeah, you blank check, just a signature on it. Gig like that. So, as far as that, but as far as like, betting on like, another team is, but what he done to me, and I'm gonna get a Porter's break because, they're going through a rough time right now with the other brothers being sentenced to 6 years.
Yeah.
Like that. And then, then the other brother playing on the court. I know he playing good, but that's, he going through a rough time right now. But what he did,
he got a load on him.
Yeah, and what the other brother did from Toronto, it was like, I think, how can I say it? I don't. He been around NBA money, right? What I mean by that, he been around his brother got in there with with guys on the other team, and they see all that stuff, because he was going back and forth from the G League up, back and forth, so he really didn't have, now one of them big fat contracts for, to do that stuff. So I don't, but to me it's senseless, it's stupid. Now you banned, now you going to prison.
Yeah.
And what, and then my question is, how much money did you make?
Right.
21K.
That was my question.
A total of 21K.
That's it?
He gave up a $2 million. That's what's being reported. Is he was making $2 million, and he only made 21K in all of these transactions. I mean, how stupid can you be when, to your point, Hollywood, you're on the plane gambling for $200,000? That's ridiculous. And to your point, and you made an excellent point, he's already got NBA money in the family. Even the younger Porter, who was driving drunk and killed the young lady, that's unfortunate for him, sentenced to 6 years, and now the other brother could possibly serve some time. Michael Porter has a load on him. Played well the other night, but I know that's a load on his shoulders.
Yeah, he's just doing his job right now. He ain't really thinking about no basketball.
Right.
He's playing well, man, because that's a lot of burden on you, man. Like, especially when you pick up the phone and call him, like, man, what were you thinking, man?
Yeah.
I mean, what you thinking, bro? Why would you do something like that?
Yeah.
So,
It's unreal. It's unreal that he would make that decision. When I was in Seattle, the Porter brothers used to train at the Boys and Girls Club that I ran. And he was a quiet, nice kid coming in there. And man, I guess the quiet ones, as the women always say, you can't trust the quiet ones now. You got to watch them. So I guess you ladies are right. So,
but to his point, check this out though. But to his point, check this out. It's easy to get caught up in the wrong circle. What I mean by that, coming out here in Vegas, just hanging out, you thinking somebody cool, you thinking they this, they your age, hey man, tell me about the bet. It's easy kind of to get caught up in that type of thing like that. Just I'll give you an example. John Morant. People that he hang around. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's easy. You think that, these are people I grew up with, blah, blah, blah. Even though, my cousin and my best friend, even though they went to Portland with me, I knew them. but they kind of kept me in control. I didn't have to keep them in control. You get what I'm saying? So it's easy to get caught up like that. So I can kind of see it happening as far as, getting around the wrong people, but making your own decisions and judgments, checking yourself out the game and all that, that's on you.
Yeah, you're implicit in that, and you're now in a gambling ring, and that's just unfortunate. I mean, that because he will serve some time for that.
How did this come out anyway? How did it all come out? He must have did something, didn't he?
It went through NBA investigations, and look, the NBA got former FBI people. You know this, Hollywood, that's checking out everything you do. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that? How the NBA. No, leave that alone. Can't leave that alone. We ain't gonna go there. Let's change it. I got a question to ask you, Hollywood. The slam dunk contest. You were in the slam dunk contest, right?
Yes.
Tell the audience what you think they should do to improve the slam dunk contest, because right now it's kind of unbearable.
Did you say improve? Did you see when I was in the dunk contest? They have improved this. That you got guys who take the time out now and really practice these dunks, man. Back in the day, we ain't do that. We just, hey, you gonna show up for the dunk contest like 2 weeks before? Barely get some playing time. It's like, the dunk contest. I'm working on. I'm trying to get me some playing time, man. You get what I'm saying? So now, but these guys now they practice these dunks. They spend time, with it. They hire people to come in. I think, man, the way it is, it elevated the way. Do you think from the 90s to now?
Do you think because we've seen basically all the dunks that there is, that's what's hurting it? That now they've jumped over cars and Kias and over Shaq's head and everything else. Do you think that's the reason that it's fell out of favor with a lot of fans?
I think so, because the guys make it look so effortless.
Yeah,
because they go out and practice it. You know what I'm saying? And when they practice, they make it look good because they want to get it done on the first dunk. Because if you don't really get that 50. So I think they elevated the game, and just people just took it for granted. Like LeBron, when he retired, they're gonna take it for granted. They talk that smack, but when he gone, somebody don't step up. The NBA better watch out.
Absolutely.
Mark,
look, I'm being a fan right now. I'm just sitting back listening to you guys. So no, I'm good. This is great.
Oh, you said it.
Now I have one. Look. They call me the professor, so I've been researching, right? But I want to get your opinion on this. European players from the time when you played to now, you see really the best basketball player in the NBA is Nikola Jokic, right? From the time when you came in, when there was a very low percentage of European players in their skill set, and did you play 1 year overseas as well? I thought I read 5 years. Okay, so talk to us about how you saw the skill of the Europeans progress to where they're at now.
I don't think it progressed. I think we pay more attention to it now. Okay. Because over there in them countries, like I played in, Greece, Spain, Italy, and Russia, if you tall, they come get you. I mean, they come get you at 15, 13, 14 years old and take you from the family. Now you start training in basketball. Absolutely. So they don't just train you like we do, because the guy tall, they give him, I want you to be on the post. These guys start training, dribbling drills. They doing everything that a guard do. So their training now outshines our training. And why I say that is because these guys get with the AAU team now, and then they just give the ball to the best players and have everybody else to stand over out the way. And let the guy dribble 30 times.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The best guard out there can't guard nobody dribbling the ball 30 times. You get what I'm saying? So our skill set is demising and theirs is uprising. That's why you see Jokic just coming in the game and they handling that thing like that. And, they playing and passing the ball like that. Their skill set is so much better than ours. So we got to go back to, the fundamentals of the game. Yeah. Because you got some guys, you tell them to reverse pivot. Man, what you doing? That's a reverse pivot. Like they don't know how to reverse pivot. And y'all laughing, but I'm dead serious.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Before we let you go, I want to get your thoughts on Victor Wembanyama. Is this guy poised to take over the league? going forward? Is he already there? Is next year going to be his breakout year? What are your thoughts about Victor? Marv, you can chime in on that as well because I haven't really heard your thoughts on it.
Go ahead, Marv.
Go ahead, Marv.
I mean, you can't teach what is it, 7'6", 7'4", whatever he is. I mean, you can't teach that, right? I mean, you're an idiot if you don't see the skill set there. Like the skill set is unlike anything we've ever seen. And to move the way that he does and to affect the game the way that he did as a rookie this year on a really, really bad team. I think the sky's the limit. Can he stay healthy? I mean, that'll be, the biggest question. 82 games is a long season, especially when you're that size. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. But yeah, his skill set is nothing like I've ever seen. We've seen Shaq and, some of these other guys through the years, but he brings a different skill set. The only thing that I kind of question also is that the team didn't get better this year. I think they won one less game this year, or maybe it was the same amount. So, I'm going to see how he leads in the next coming up years. But health is the biggest thing that I want to see. But he's skilled. He's skilled like nothing we've seen.
They need some more veterans around him on San Antonio. I think they need to get some seasoned veterans to put in the mix with San Antonio. I think they're tanking. They all have a lot of ping pong balls again for the upcoming draft. But I think they need to get some more seasoned veterans around them. But Hollywood, what are your thoughts on Victor?
I think he's going to be the next truth, man. Like I said, you ain't had no big men like that. That can move like that, step back threes and stuff like that. The thing is, Marv, you say he little. They said the same thing about Kevin Durant. And the thing about that, you can be little up here. Some guys don't, get big up here until in their 30s or 40s. But as long as his base, his hips and his thighs and legs can be, stable to the ground where he can hold his own, they got trouble. And I think if he would have won, if he'd came out the gate winning this year, I think it would have been more exciting for the San Antonio Spurs, because if he came out winning like just say 5-6 games in a row and they could have been hyped, it would have been like LeBron. People would have been watching him still to this, all the way through the 82 games.
Right. Yeah.
But I think that he is going to be the face of the league because he's going to be around. I think he's going to get better. He's going to get stronger. He's going to learn how to score with his size, because right now he letting guys kind of push him out a little bit where he can just get the ball and kind of lay it up. Now, especially with his dribbling, now I don't know why 7'4" he's stepping back, but it looked good. I don't know why he's stepping back. Block it, no way, but it looked good though. But I think he's in the next 2 or 3 years he's gonna be a dominant player, man.
Yeah, get on the box, nice turnaround. Who can stop a turnaround fadeaway from a 7'4" guy? Very similar to how Dirk used to do it. Can't stop. Hollywood, look, man, we so appreciate it. Now you got to do one favor for us. You got to come back. You got to come back. So we always say you got to be a reoccurring guest, because this hour just flew by, and we appreciate it. Oh, we've been chopping it up for almost an hour. And then we could talk about this all day. And as the playoffs progress, you have to promise you're gonna have to come back, because my boy over here, he's kind of biased. I know you're an Alabama guy too. And look, I like Alabama. I'm an SEC guy myself, but this one here takes it to another level. But that's another story. That's another story. We appreciate you, brother. Please come back. Please come back and chop it up with us. This has been great. This has been such a great interview. So please come back and holler back at us, man, and chop it up with us. We love it. We love this conversation.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. And I'll be more than welcome to come back, man. This time I get Marvin going a little bit.
Yeah. I wanted to sit back and just kind of let you do your thing. But of course, man, next we got to have you reoccurring. And I appreciate it, fam. It was good to see you, man.
All right, absolutely. You too. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. James Hollywood Robinson, y'all, on After the Buzz of Sports, ISF Productions. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you for tuning in on us, tuning in with us, okay?
You got it.
We got one other topic. I don't know if you want to cover this today or wait till next week. I did want to get into the NIL collective conversation real quick. I know Hollywood mentioned it very quickly as well. But for those of you that don't know what these collectives are, The boosters are forming these collectives to work with local businesses to sign players to NIL deals. So you may have a group of boosters, Jerry Jones, Tyson Food, JB Hunt, putting money into a pool. They in turn work with supermarkets, car dealerships, and get these players paid. Marv, do you think these collectives are good for the sport of college basketball, football? Do you think this is a good thing, or do you think they're causing part of the problem that they're causing by being part of this whole NIL money grab thing?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think it's part of the problem, and some friends that I have who are in the game, so to speak, they don't even know what collectives are. To be quite honest, they say that there's a group of people who pool together money and get it where it needs to go, right? But from people that I know that are directly entrenched in this, it's like you have to do it though. If you don't do it, you're behind, and that's the landscape of college athletics now. So I don't think it's hurting it because it is what it is. This is where we are at this point with college sports. I think you know what they say: get in, you got to get in to fit in, right? So
yeah.
So it's just where we are. I would like, you've always been kind of saying this. I would like to find a way that they can create a union and band together and do revenue sharing and put all this stuff above board so everybody knows what everybody's doing. That's ultimately what I would like to see. But it's here to stay, and we might as well just get used to it.
Yeah, you look at what Arkansas in Calipari's deal. Arkansas gave him $5 million a year for NIL, right? Through their collective $5 million a year. The University of Memphis just announced $25 million over 5 years for University of Memphis sports. So those to go along with and galvanizing and getting those donations, those are the teams are going to get players. Let's face it. And that's why I said Calipari's move to Arkansas was brilliant on Arkansas's part because they have the movers and shakers to put that money in there. Jerry Jones. I mean, come on. Nothing else to be said. So these collectives are here to stay. To your point, will the smaller schools be able to compete with their collectives compared to some of these larger schools is what I've always said will be the ultimate problem. That's why revenue sharing, unionization is where it has to be headed. And then when you look at football, I just think they're going to break the whole thing off and have a set of collective bargaining rules to go after. So yeah. Mark, you never did tell us really, and we asked the question, we was talking about Hollywood. He didn't want to tell, but can you tell how much you got? Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your lips are sealed. Okay.
Hey guys, that's not what we do.
This has been a tremendous show, a great show. Guys, tell your friends about After the Buzzers on ISF Production. This is how we do it. We have great guests. We have great talk. You all are a big part of what we do. I'm sorry I didn't get all of your comments in today, but we had Hollywood and he was going great, so we didn't want to interrupt him. But please tell a friend about us. Share it on your social media platforms. We need you guys very much. I'm Lee Jones. He's the Hall of Famer, Marvin Orange. We want to thank you for tuning in. This has been After the Buzzer Sports Podcast. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.